You know, right now there's an upcoming release that's acting like a massive gravitational anomaly. It is literally warping the entire entertainment industry around it. Today, we're diving deep into the unprecedented scale, the wild revolutionary tech, and the massive economic footprint of Grand Theft Auto 6.
Think about this for a second. What actually happens when a single game becomes powerful enough to influence the future of an entire industry? It's a serious question. We aren't just waiting around for another video game here. No, we're waiting for what analysts are calling the largest entertainment release of all time. The sheer scale of what we're about to unpack goes way beyond entertainment. It's a technological and cultural milestone that's already sending shockwaves through hardware sales, streaming platforms, and competing studios.
Part 1. The decade-long wait and establishing the scale.
So the sheer footprint of this game world is it's staggering. We're looking at an estimated 130 to 150 square kilometers. To put that massive number into perspective, this multi-county, Florida-inspired region effectively doubles the map size of GTA V. Doubles it. But, you know, it's not just about having a wider map to drive across. It's really about what fills all that space.
We're talking about abandoning those old, stagnant checkpoint formulas we're so used to in open-world games. Rockstar is building a dense, vertically integrated reality. Imagine police chases that transition seamlessly from super-tight city blocks straight into reactive, muddy wildlife swamps. Or a Florida-style water system that fundamentally changes how you actually travel. It's a world built with incredible, unprecedented depth in literally every single corner.
Part 2. Engineering a living world.
Now, the real secret to making a world of this insane size actually feel genuinely alive? Well, it lies buried in patent US 11684855B2. Yeah, granted in 2023, this is basically Rockstar's hidden blueprint for revolutionary artificial intelligence. Look, traditional games, they rely on fixed waypoints and simple scripts for non-playable characters, NPCs, which, let's be honest, leads to some pretty predictable and repetitive behaviors. But this patent, it completely rewrites how characters operate in gaming environments.
The absolutely crucial leap here is how this new AI navigates using a dual-layer system. First, you have a course graph, which acts kind of like an air traffic controller, dynamically routing massive traffic flows based on things like weather and population density. But then, down on the actual street level, a fine graph takes over. This allows an individual NPC to actively choose a lane or navigate a really complex turn in real time. It's real-time adaptation at a massive scale.
But oh, it gets even better. These NPCs aren't just following invisible lines anymore. They are driven by neural networks trained on actual, real-world traffic data. This means every single NPC gets a unique personality vector. So you'll encounter drivers with totally different levels of aggressiveness, patience, and risk tolerance. Say it starts raining. An NPC with high weather sensitivity will actually reduce their speed and increase their following distance. It's an entire ecosystem of emergent behavioral quirks.
Okay, but to build a truly living city, you have to overcome the limits of traditional local AI, right? Because that usually caps out at around 50 active NPCs before your console starts sounding like a jet engine. So Rockstar's solution? Shift the heavy lifting to 64-core server clusters in the cloud. This brilliant move allows the game to stream state updates for over 10,000 complex characters simultaneously, all without burning up your hardware at home.
And visually, oh man, the technology is just as staggering. The game utilizes ray-traced global illumination, basically by simulating real-world light bounce, the neon cityscapes, the reflections in vehicle mirrors, the wet pavements. They look remarkably vivid. It's a level of hardware optimization on the PS5 that creates reflections and environmental shadows unlike literally anything the industry has achieved so far. It completely draws you deep into this gritty, undeniably real environment.
Part 3. A transformed studio culture.
Over the last few years, Rockstar instituted some sweeping structural changes to modernize its workplace. They converted temporary contractors into full-time employees and introduced flexi-time to combat staff burnout. Culturally, the studio has also evolved its satirical lens to better reflect a shifting American landscape. They've impartially removed certain jokes from past titles to avoid punching down and introduced a Latina female protagonist in a brand new story inspired by Bonnie and Clyde.
There's this anonymous quote from an employee that really anchors this whole shift. They said, "A boys' club transformed into a real company." Remember the severe backlash over those 100-hour crunch weeks during the development of Red Dead Redemption 2? Well, management heavily restructured schedules after that. In fact, to eliminate that extreme overtime, they actually scaled back the initial scope of the GTA 6 map.
Their plan is to expand it over time instead of crunching the development team to the absolute breaking point.
Part 4. The November Ghost Town. Meanwhile, the rest of the industry is reacting with pure, unadulterated fear. November is an absolute ghost town. Publishers are terrified to launch anywhere near Rockstar, resulting in a massive pileup, basically a bloodbath in September and October. Literally in the space of just 48 hours in late September, massive titles like Control, Resident, Silent Hill, and Marvel's Wolverine are all colliding. Why? Because everyone is desperately fleeing the gravity of GTA 6.
There is, however, one brilliantly hilarious anomaly I just have to point out. While all the AAA blockbusters flee in terror, Atari is boldly launching Barbie Rewind and a Godzilla remaster right in the blast radius. The internet has dubbed it the Barbzilla exception. They are using the launch window as a shield, betting that their incredibly niche retro audiences probably won't overlap much with a massive crime epic demographic. Honestly, it's a total masterclass in counter-programming.
Part 5. Redefining the gaming industry.
That fear of the November launch window? Yeah, it is entirely justified by one staggering projection. $3.2 billion. That is the estimated first-year revenue for GTA 6 alone. With consumer surveys showing the players are actively squirreling away their money to buy this specific game. Competitors know for a fact there simply won't be enough budget left over for other full-price titles this holiday season. And the shadow of this monolithic release has a chilling knock-on effect. Venture capital funding for smaller studios has effectively collapsed heading into 2025. Investors are pulling way back. They're waiting to see if mid-budget games can even survive the September pileup before they commit any new capital to the industry. It's a real wait-and-see game right now.
Then, of course, there is the cost to you, the consumer. The game is highly anticipated to launch at $79.99. Because of the sheer, unprecedented volume of sales Rockstar commands, they possess a terrifying amount of pricing power. Analysts actually believe that if they successfully normalize this $80 price tag, it could unilaterally force the baseline pricing structure for the entire AAA gaming industry upwards, permanently.
Which leaves us with this one absolutely crucial question to ponder. As technological expectations hit the stratosphere and smaller studios fight for oxygen in an incredibly crowded calendar, is the entertainment industry actually ready for the new reality this single game will forge? Because make no mistake, it's not just a game launch, it is a total ground-up industry reset.